This morning time.
Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legends, where the truth hurts, but also makes you laugh.
Baby, tap in. Tap in.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top. Yeah.
Low waist, fat, baby, tap in.
Oh, I'm going to tap in for sure.
Tap in.
Good morning, y'all. All I got to say is...
No, Jay Black, I think you did something wrong.
I did something wrong?
I don't think Jay ain't running commercials. You can tell.
There was no commercials. It was no nothing.
My whole thing is every time I wake up, I ask myself, why didn't we just do an afternoon show? Like, why?
Whose idea was this?
Whose idea was it to wake up every morning?
Hour, like a lunch power hour or something? Because I'm not a morning person.
Oh my God. When I tell you how hard I was sleeping, I don't even have a voice. Anyway, it's going to be a great show. We're going to have legendary comedian talent from Def Jam, the movie Sunset Park, and all that. He's going to be on
Sunset Park.
Yeah, I remember when he actually got the role. That was a big deal. We're at the comedy club, and they were like, oh, damn, he got the role in Sunset Park as the basketball player. Well, it was a movie about, what was the little white lady? Well, we'll ask him when he gets here.
But he is tall. Like, he is super, super tall.
No. He's probably like 6'6". First of all, I don't like the way you said that. I don't even like the way you said that.
I'm just painting a picture for the ladies.
Namaste.
For those, namaste.
Namaste.
I've never seen him before.
What does that mean?
It gotta mean like good morning, like right? Like hi.
Good morning? Okay, Joy, because I see that. Okay, good morning.
It's like
right,
salute. I think it's like a salute.
How was your night?
Say namaste to somebody when you say goodbye, like when you're closing out.
All right. How was your night, Jay Black?
It was cool. I had a root canal last minute yesterday.
You had a root canal?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was having this cold sensation, pause, and I couldn't figure out, and the dentist couldn't figure out.
You was having a cold sensation in your mouth.
Shut up.
So go ahead.
On to you.
Okay, Joy. I was wondering what that meant. Okay.
No, my dentist sent me to a specialist, and I never went. It's been like a couple months, and then I bit a piece of bacon, and it had a shooting pain with the cold sensation, and I couldn't take it no more. So I went to the specialist, and he said, "Oh, you got a crack in your tooth."
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it was like a little crack, and he said we got to see how deep that crack go, and you know how that go. But yeah,
luckily it wasn't a vertical.
No, I don't know. No, I don't know how that goes. I don't know.
You ain't never had no root canal?
No.
Really?
I had a vertical.
At 50 years old, you ain't never had a root canal your whole life.
I still got
they
my
just
wisdom.
snatch them out?
No, I still got my wisdom teeth and everything.
What?
They never. Yeah, I don't have anything. I've never had anything removed.
Oh, lucky
I had a pain.
Like laughing.
25 years ago. I've never, and then it just went away. It was supposed to take my wisdom teeth out, but I was like, I'm not doing all that. We're gonna bring talent in here now. I mean, we'll bring them in. Mo, how was your night?
Joey said the way I was acting, I deserve.
I spent my night in the airport last night, of course.
Why do your flights always get canceled?
Listen,
why?
Canceled, delayed.
But it's always you. I fly Spirit, and your flights get canceled more than mine.
So listen, American Airlines and Spirit Airlines are notorious for delayed flights, cancellations. But on the East Coast, they had a little bit of turbulent weather. So
the weather was bad. The weather was bad.
Yeah,
the weather was bad in Jersey and in Texas. Yeah, the weather was bad. So that could be it. I had the same thing, Jay Black, a crack. How y'all cracking teeth? Like, what are y'all eating?
Oh, you had a crack tooth, Jay? I got a crack tooth right now.
Y'all biting on that. Y'all cracking teeth.
Yes, it happens, Mike. It's called life. Like sometimes
I eat a lot of stuff. Some stuff I'm not even going to mention. And I've never cracked a tooth.
Yeah,
I got a crack tooth now. It's bothering me. But anyway.
Why do all y'all have crack? What are y'all eating? Like, what's going on?
I am an actual ice eater. But I
eat
do
ice.
not eat like the hard ice if I can help it. I get the
Where do
pellet
you get
ice.
soft ice from? That's what I want to
Sonic?
know. Where do you
So
get the soft ice from?
So I have purchased a ice machine, a ice maker for my house.
Oh yeah, I got one.
I don't eat the ice from the refrigerator. I eat the pellet ice.
All right,
And
pause. I don't know why I think you should say pause.
Wawa has the really delicate, soft hospital ice. There's levels to this, Michael Shawn. All of the
Delicate
ice.
ice.
There's levels to this. Okay.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
everybody knows that.
So your night was okay. Your night was okay.
Yeah. It was.
Yeah, because we doing a strong hour and we're good. Shawnee Scott, how was your night? No, I kind of know the answer.
Well, you know how my night was. Mike actually had to work yesterday because I had work to do. So after the show, we had to go work. So he had to run around and be Shawnee Scott. We got some stuff done, but the girls had they didn't, but their school had their last football game last night. So we went to that and embarrassed them there because the girls have little friends on the football team.
Okay.
Did we?
Yeah.
I wanted I was like, Shawnee, we gonna play today. Little boy got off the football field. They were playing, and little boy got at the football field and called one of her daughters, like, come here. And Shawnee was like, what? She's not coming here. She not. And they got on FaceTime and was like, I guess she was on FaceTime with the boy, and Shawnee grabbed the phone. So now I got a cosign. I'm in. Like, once I pick a team, I'm on that team. Now I gotta be on the phone with her, like, no, she's not coming here. Then I had
so the player he got off the field, he's one of the players. Usually when you get off the field, you in your uniform, you come and support your people you came to see.
No. It's 2 games. So the 7th graders played first, then the 8th graders. So when the 7th graders finished, the coaches made them sit in the stand, and they couldn't move. So now the 8th, because the baby is in the 7th grade, and then the oldest is in the 8th grade, and the baby got a friend on the 7th grade team, the little running back.
Okay.
And then Carly's little friend,
but no
he play a whole bunch of stuff.
But the one dude tried to act like he was on some old come here, and Shawnee got up. She ain't sit down. She got up out the stand and went. She not coming there. And I was like, oh, here we go. I'm telling you. It was all the smoke that I was like, we're gonna beat up a 7th grader? Like we can't.
But the little boy did good in the game, though. He got the first touchdown.
No, he did.
They couldn't stop him. I was like, dang.
But they went there to see and support the player, but she can't even go say what up.
No, you don't get up and tell my daughter, come here. You don't.
He ain't said like that. He's coming off the field.
He
support the players.
In the stands. Number one, he's sitting with the team. The coach already said, if y'all don't sit down, we gonna get on the bus and y'all can't watch the 8th grade game. You don't get up you don't get up and yell at me.
He thought he was Death Row Records. He was like, come here.
And say, like you pay the rent over here. He don't pay none of her bills. No, you don't. No. You don't.
But even if he did, he can't yell like that or like that. So.
And then hold up. Shawnee got me so in my bag of feelings. I had a little talk with the girl saying, you don't go to boys. They come to you.
Oh, here you go.
But they need
I said, you the prize. You don't go walking over there, following them around. We was in the car. I couldn't take it no more. We was about to jump a 7th grader. Like, it was about to happen. It was about to go down in real life. In real life.
Okay.
Once I saw his number, I said, oh, okay. So I just got to make sure. I said, okay, all right.
CJ, that's his name. CJ.
Mike,
I don't even like the fact that they got these little boys being anyway. All right, let's get the show started. That's what happened. So then, and I made the mistake, and I'm the only person at the football game eating hot dogs. Pause. And I should have done that.
Eating hot dogs. He had 2.
They were good, but boy, listen, they're not good right now. I'm telling you right now, my stomach is DJ. What? My stomach is DJ Sir Mix-a-Lot. My stomach right now is just is spinning right now. I'm like, this show gonna be fast. All right, let's get to the show. We got
the show not gonna be fast. He can stay the whole time. He just got to take the girls to school because I gotta go. I gotta go
Look
to
at
the
these
doctor.
responsibilities now.
I gotta go to the doctor this morning. They changed one of my appointments, so I gotta go today. So
he gotta step in. Okay.
Yeah, he good. He can be here the whole time because my mama coming to get me.
Well,
okay.
Well, I don't know what's going on.
Me neither.
Nah, Shawnee got me working. I'm semi dad again.
I've never seen Mike work this hard.
Yeah, he had to work over here, girl. You know.
All right. Well,
I can't go to the store and grab a drink or nothing. I got drive to school. Okay. Anyway, legendary comedian, one of my best friends in comedy. Somebody that you saw in Def Jam, somebody you saw in, like I said, the movie Sunset Park, somebody you've seen everywhere. Probably one of the, not just one of the best comedians in the country, but in my opinion, when it comes to hosting a comedy show, if you ever want to do a comedy show.
And funerals. Don't forget he hosted funerals too.
He hosted a funeral, I forgot.
What was the celebrity that was the DMX's funeral? He hosted
a funeral.
Real popular.
He will host a bar mitzvah.
Yeah, he do it all.
If you got a sweet 16, he will kill the sweet 16. Ladies and gentlemen, please bring in my man Talent. My man Talent is in the building.
Good morning.
Not the funerals and bar
Yo,
mitzvahs.
I'm laughing because I forgot I hosted the funeral.
You forgot you hosted the funeral. I was like,
he said funeral. I said, oh shit, I did that. The funniest thing in the world. Y'all are the best ever. Best ever. First of all, you know how jacked up your mouth is when they tell you gotta see a specialist. You're like, yo, I thought I was at the specialist.
I thought y'all was it.
I'm a dentist. I do regular. Oh, my man down the block that do disasters. Yeah. So he's like, and then he get mad because Mike Shawn got all his shit. You ain't never had a root canal? 50 years old. What's wrong with your mouth? Why are all your teeth still there? That part right there, you better snip that up. That's a greatest hit right there.
You know what I'm mad at Talent? You know what I got mad? What irritates me is when you the normal one. Like you say some normal shit and everybody else say some odd shit and they all like, we all got cracked teeth. Well, that's not normal.
No, that's why I'm laughing. If she goes, my shit cracked right now.
It's right now.
At this present moment, my tooth is cracked right now. But this is what I deal with. Then they look at me crazy. Like, huh? Are you telling me not one of your?
Yo, that was hilarious. That whole bit right there. And it was so real. Matter of fact, he don't see nothing wrong with it. He said, they told me to go see a specialist. When the specialist lean over in your mouth and go, shit. Hey, what you been doing though?
God forbid, but I work with people who be like, we all got leukemia. You ain't got leukemia? What are you talking about? No, I don't. I don't have leukemia.
Oh, that was good. I needed that.
So I want to get your opinion on some stuff because we've had this debate going on. I really watched what Kanye did on Drink Champs. Mm-hmm. And I really bugged out that his quote, this ain't allegedly, his quote was, I can say anti-Semitic stuff and Adidas still can't drop me. Mm-hmm. I ain't never heard nobody go at the Jewish community that hard. Mm-hmm. I just want to know, Talent, what is your opinion on that? And then we'll get into fun stuff.
Well, Kanye is just, it's sad to me. It's sad. It's Kanye with black folks right now. It's like that relationship. You ever be in that relationship and one person want to get out of it, but they won't just say, I want to break up and get out of it. They just do little stuff to aggravate the other person. Like right now, I feel like he's doing that. He's floating in the stratosphere, just throwing stuff against the wall because he knows pissing people off, for one. And for two, he's already a natural music genius, but he's reaching for that genius thing. Like, I'm going to say something so left and make you see the genius in it. First of all, we was talking about this yesterday. There's the check cutter and there's the check picker-upper. And his deals with Adidas and these other companies, your net worth is so high because of these deals, these proposed deals on the table, not because of cash in the bank. You got to be very careful. So the person who cuts the check and cuts the deal absolutely can end the deal. Absolutely, they can take it off the table for whatever reason. Mike, we talk about this on the sports show all the time. There's a code of conduct. And if I'm a Jewish company or person or CEO, and I feel like you're straight coming at me blatantly and disrespecting me and my ethnicity and all that stuff, I absolutely can go about face on you. And he's sadly mistaken thinking that, and people with money sometimes, they get like that. They get a certain amount of money and prestige and power, and they don't see the falling. They don't see that they can fall. They think they're above falling. No one in America especially is above falling. You see what happened in the UK? The damn prime minister, 48 days, I'm done with this, I'm out of here. You know, they told the prime minister, the lady just resigned because she had to go see a specialist. 48 days. He said, I can't run this country. He said, man, we got to get you to a specialist. But yeah, I just think he's off the rails right now, reaching, scratching, and clawing. I disagree with a lot of stuff, but that's his opinion. Freedom of speech, that's his opinion. But I disagree with a lot of it. And I think a lot of it does a great disservice to us, especially right now with the climate being what it is. We definitely don't need that. We don't need the higher echelon of us doing and saying certain movements that is coming back on us. You know what I mean? Because it's coming back on us, whether you like it or not.
So Stacey Mitchell said, didn't his agent and lawyer leave him? I don't know that for sure, so I don't know. We got to say allegedly. I have no idea.
Yeah, allegedly, a lot of people are pulling out from him. Pause. And they're saying basically that this can move his status, his financial status, as a billionaire.
It is. It's gonna.
Somewhere Jay-Z is saying, "Do not call my phone. Don't call me. Don't
But
ask."
They been did that, Mike. Jay-Z and Beyonce been said, yeah.
We're good. They removed themselves.
Let me tell you something that a lot of people don't know. Years back when he did that at the awards, the Taylor Swift incident, this is when they made a conscious decision that this nigga's crazy, right? For real, because they were playing around and joking about it, but amongst themselves, you know, because they cool and they friends. Yeah, that's crazy. How they do that? Beyonce, Taylor Swift, blah blah. He said, "Man, I'm gonna snatch your mic," and it was like, "Yeah, right." They was joking, like we do it all the time. Yeah, right. You ain't snatching my mic. And when he actually did it, you see the face of J and B, like, "Yo, we out of here. This is it." And from that moment on, there was the separation of Jay-Z.
But
that's why they didn't go to the wedding. That's why they didn't go to the wedding. They was like, no. You enjoy yourself. I had never, like, I'll say it again. I gave Kanye credit because my insecurity, there's no way I could have married you after I saw the Ray J tape. Just like, I could have had sex with you. But there's no way I could have been like, I'm gonna get married and have kids with you, and God bless their kids. God bless their family. But there's no way I would have, my insecurities is there. Like, if all my boys just saw you, like, I know everybody who's at the wedding saw my wife. Like, and I got a bunch of comedians as friends. He's like, yo.
As a comedian, you know we're gonna get you. The only way that I could be with Kim after that tape come out, I gotta be able to smash everybody in the house.
Wait, is that on the rider? Is that the contingency?
I'm petty like that. I gotta be, because to me, when you have a sex tape out as that was, now that we know it's produced, but even before we knew that, the world's seen it. So the only way I'm gonna feel better and vindicated is every piece of ass in this house has to belong.
I gotta smash your mama, your sister, your other
I'm
sister.
hitting Marduk. It's Marduk's Monday. Every Monday.
What?
Mom, someone's at the door. It's your day.
Good, here for it.
You ever seen that TV show Big Love? Anybody ever watch that?
Yes.
With the late
houses together. Yes.
The late Bill Paxton. So they live that lifestyle, the Mormons. Yes. And he got 3 wives. It comes on, he has 3 wives. So what he did that was dope is he bought these 3 houses. The way they sit is they shared this big ass backyard. And they had to take turns, so you knew Monday and Tuesday was yours. But he would go through house to house. But he owned like a Home Depot chain of stores, him and his partner. So they had the money or whatever. But he had 3 full families living together as one family, and these 3 connected houses. That would be me in the Kardashian. It would be the Kardashian Harris household.
All right. So I want to ask you, what was the lady's name that was the star? You were in the movie Sunset Park. I can't remember her name. I don't know.
Rhea Perlman, Carla from Cheers.
Yes. Okay. I don't know why I couldn't think of the name. Questions. What is it? And then you can just rock with this. What is it about this business, this entertainment business, that pisses you off? The one thing, because you're always the reason why I asked this is because I've never seen talent in a bad mood until he choked one person out. That was the only time I ever saw him in a bad mood.
And the sad thing is, I wasn't mad when I choked the person either. That's very weird if you think about it. I wasn't even that mad. I was just making a point.
Well, what pisses you off about this? But you've been in this business for like, how long you been doing this now? For like
31 years.
31 years.
Yeah. What pisses me off about the business and why I keep my projects and everything I do at arm's length, like the Heisman Trophy, is I'm a realist. I'm a naturalist. If you're natural and you're real, everything comes as organically and real. Entertainment industry is the total opposite of that. We don't, in the entertainment industry, you must be what we need you to be. There is no organic this or that and natural this or that. We have a blueprint. We have a format, and we want to input. We just want to input people to keep that format going. And if you're willing to play by that rules, great. If you're not, we'll give you a couple of warnings, a couple of smacks in the hand, or we just, you know what, he's not trying to comply. Let's put this guy in. If you look at Hollywood, we talk about this like Kevin Hart's my boy, but we talk about this about if you go back to the time that it started to pop for Kevin Hart. That lane opened up because Cat Williams wouldn't comply. Think about that. Cat was the next guy for Hollywood, for Black Hollywood especially. And Cat was doing his own thing. Cat was being Cat. And after a few of those, they were like, this is too risky. And it was amazing. People used to always tell me this stuff, but I never really paid attention to witness firsthand until the Kevin Cat thing. Cat had a tour on the table of about 40 cities, 30, 40 cities. And I think he only maybe started in about less than 10 of those dates were done. So it was like another 30 on the table. And Cat was doing bit roles and blah, 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 soul playing, all that stuff. And Cat, when Cat did that role in Friday, it turned to 100. It was like, oh, this is the guy we're going to run. Put the tour on the table, start putting them on shows. People started getting that Cat ball rolling, and Cat wouldn't comply. And within less than a year, maybe 6 months, they started to pull him back from the View, playing View, and give those roles to Cat. You start to see Cat pop up in these little roles. And they started to push Cat. And I swear to God, 6, 7 months, those 30 dates you seen Kev had. And it started to create the household name Kevin Hart. They started to do this special on Comedy Central, do another one, put this on Netflix, and the steamboat rolled. And you started to, unless you was a comedy fan and was aware of the inner workings of comedy, like Cat Williams shows and stuff like that, you started to visually dip off, and you started to visually see Kev being pushed in front of your View. And Kev lane opened up, and the rest was history. But they place you, they have a blueprint already. And if you don't fit or comply, we got a long line of people that want this position and will do anything for this position. Problem is, some people won't do anything for a position. You know what I mean? It depends on what you want out of it. Mike, we comedians, we know 70, 80% of us comedians they're not real comedians. They're using this as a stepping stone,
right,
to be an actor, producer, writer, direct, whatever they really want to do. This is their stepping stone. Now you got guys like us that are we're really comedians. Like, I really want to light the stage up. That's my end game, is just to be the best at this.
Mm-hmm.
So who didn't Talent get down with then? Like, I'm looking, I remember this movie. I remember you were everywhere. Like, what happened at that point? Because I know you're still New York Scammer comedy. You got all of these accolades. It's like, well, where's that next level for Talent? Like, what, you didn't want to get down with the get down?
I mean, movies are fun. The problem with movies are that's it. They're just fun, right? They serve two good purposes. I'm a movie buff, so Mike knows me. I stay in the movies, stay on the shows. So in that aspect, as a fan, it's fun. As a businessman, as a guy who's feeding his family and putting all these kids through college and everything, it ups my fee. So I like that part. I like that I did Sunset Park, and I went from $500 to $5,000 a gig, and then from $5,000 to $10,000. So I like that part of it because that behooves the family, the income, and the overall picture financially. However, the problem with movies is this: comedy is my baby. Comedy is something that I created, and every time I hit a stage, every show's like a snowflake. No two are the same. So I'm challenged every single time. I can have 3 shows in a night, 3 different places. Each one, that's 3 challenges that night. There's no gimme. I don't know I'm gonna walk in there, it's gonna be gravy. I don't know what the situation is gonna be. So that's a challenge. When I do a film or somebody else's project, it's already written on paper for me. All I gotta do is memorize this. That's somebody else's work. I get no gratification from that. I don't get gratification until they edit the movie, do the premiere. I gotta sit there and look how it came out. Then I go, oh, that's cool, that's funny, But when I'm doing it, there's no gratification. My end game is always to be the Michael Jackson or the Prince of comedy, meaning when you hear that one name, Talent, you buy your ticket. Ain't no if and but about it. Oh, Talent, give me 2 tickets. That's my end game. And it's been working. It's 31 years later. I'm still on your flyers. I'm still on your marquees. I'm still on your concerts and your clubs. And 31 years later. So it ain't like I got a bad idea or a wrong idea. Here we are. Kid number 6 starts college in 2 years. Every kid, imagine that. You're able to put every kid through college. And don't get me wrong, it ain't like I'm living in a refrigerated cardboard box where they're going to school. Yeah. Pretty well off over here. I got 6 kids and 6 canines. That's 12 kids.
Them dogs count. Yeah.
All right. I want to ask you as a comedic question. What do you do when you see somebody or hear somebody steal a joke from you? How do you handle it?
Yeah.
Do you just let it go?
I don't know where. First of all, I don't know where that question came from because I just got a call yesterday. I'm going to Target to buy dog food. And I get the call, so I sit down on a little Target bench, and they're telling me that they're giving me play-by-play of the night before. Somebody that we stole a bit and did the bit verbatim, and I just sat down because it makes me nauseous at this point. Like when young new comedians do it, it doesn't bother me. A young comedian can straight steal my bit in front of me, and I'll laugh at it because I don't really expect much from them. They don't know no better. But when a comedian of some sort of veteranship, got some sort of tenure in the game, really, my dude? Like you 30 years in like me, and we're still doing that? Like, that makes you nauseous. But to your point, I've grown up. Like when you talked about I choked somebody, that's why I choked the person. I choked the person because I left one show. I went to Caroline's. Ed Love and them was hosting their Wednesday thing or whatever. And I said, oh, what's going on? Let me go see what the show's still going, catch a little show, get a Heineken, sit in the back. And I sat in the back. And, it ain't no secret. It's Franz Cassius, right? That's another funny story I'm going to tell you at the end of this because it ain't no secret. So I sit in the back, and I'm enjoying my beer. And then all of a sudden, I just start getting too familiar. And I'm like, where's he going with this shit? And he just does the whole shit verbatim. I'm flustered, so I walk out into the lobby talking to myself, trying to figure out how are you going to deal with this? Do I say something? Do I put it aside? Blah, blah, blah. And before I could figure out a plan, you heard the applause, meaning he was off the stage and he was coming back through the kitchen where I was, and it was no more time to plan it. So I just went up to him and reached my hand up to shake his hand. I was like, yo, bro. I was like, yo, nice set. But and when I shake his hand, I ain't let it go. I still got it, right? I'm like, yo, how you gonna just do my bit? And he was like, what bit? And when I said the bit, the nigga answer was the worst answer you could have. The only way it could have been worse if he just said, fuck. That's the only way it could have been worse. I said, how you gonna do my bit? He said, what bit? When I told him the bit, the nigga gonna say to me, oh, I didn't steal that from you. I stole that from somebody else. I said, I just started choking this nigga. I don't know what, something just clicked and I choked this nigga. So here's the thing. I do an interview with Spanky Hayes from Wild 'N Out. I think it was like last year or the beginning of this year. And he asked me at the end of the interview, he said, any beefs, any comedy beefs? I said, no, I'm too old for beefs. I said, certain people I prefer not to work with. I said, but back in the day, I told a story like I just told you, I choked Franz Cassius. Yo, I swear to God, 3 days later, this interview airs. It's 2 a.m. and this motherfucker's on the West Coast, and my phone rang, and it's Franz. The interview's totally out of my brain. I'm like, hey, Franz, because we're friends now. Hey, Franz, what's happening, baby? He said, yo, you choked me? I said, what? He said, no, I'm looking at this fucking interview. You said you choked me at Caroline's. I said, yeah. You don't remember when I choked you? I try to jog the memory. He was like, no. I said, Franz, you don't remember I choked you? This motherfucker said, I said, you don't remember I choked you at Caroline? Another dumb answer. He goes, nah, I remember you choked me somewhere else. I said, what is wrong with people? Like, do we think about our ancestors? I don't remember you choking me, Caroline. I remember you choked me somewhere else. So what he brought up, what he remembered, that's how, when you choke somebody real good, you fluster their memory. He said, Miami, you choked me in Miami coming out of the Rolex strip club. I said, no, I body slammed you there and fed you pebbles and dirt. I kept pebbles and dirt while I had him down. I was shoving dirt and rocks in his mouth.
Wait a minute.
How you confuse those two chokes? Like that's a whole different choke. You choked me at Caroline's. I'm never forgetting that. Because it's Caroline's. The fuck you gonna choke me on Broadway? The Lion King is across the street.
Right.
Mike, I don't know where you going today, but I know it's one story. If Tyler is down to share this story, Mike, he shared the story. Like, comedians, they get together.
Hold on, before you say that, I just want to say, you are not supposed to have sequels to chokes.
Not supposed to be sequels.
Well, clearly, remember, it was a body slam.
No.
Oh,
there's no way I could beat Talent in a fight at all. But if he tried to choke me the second time, I would stab you multiple times with something. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
I'm about to check out. I will see you guys later. I don't know when I'll be back because tomorrow I won't be here. So I will
have a great blessed day.
Wake up from the anesthesia.
Have a great blessed day.
You gotta get anesthesia. Wait. You gotta get anesthesia today?
Tomorrow.
No, not today.
No.
Today.
Oh, okay.
But tomorrow is the surgery. And I
She
don't
going
know
to a
when
special.
I'll be back on the show.
She's going to a special.
Yo, I like your outro. You got the human trafficking exit. All right, I might not see you guys ever again. I don't know when. I got to figure out the combination of the van door.
Oh, God.
No, she better come back because I'm staying at her house. All right, go ahead, Jay.
Have a beautiful day, man.
Jay, take me out because I can't do it.
I got you.
All right, Jay, go ahead with your question. Hopefully you can remember it.
No, I remember. No, Tyler has shared the story, and I ain't laughed this hard behind the scenes. I don't even know if he want to put that out on the air. Something about being in hotel rooms and urine and in the cup and I don't know, and bottles and
when I drink the piss.
Yeah, I didn't want to just say it. When Tyler drunk urine.
Wait, I wasn't ready for that one. I
have never laughed this hard.
When I woke up and
break this down.
Wait, I wasn't ready.
I just want to tell y'all before he tells this story. I heard this story in the green room before I got on stage. It put me in such a good mood.
It was Donnell Rollins. We was in Harrisburg.
Literally helped
it was
me
in
do a great job.
Yes, yes, Harrisburg, PA.
But if you want to share talent,
I am. I'm proud of myself. You know why I'm proud of myself? Because this is proof that I'm a real comedian. Because this is something that the average Joe wouldn't. But I can appreciate the humor value in it. Okay. So the pandemic, let me paint the picture of how I got here the first one. Very lazy since the pandemic, right? As far as living range. So my living range now, I'm in a 3-story big ass house, and I haven't been upstairs. Right now I'm in the second floor. I haven't been up to my bedroom in 2 years, right? Because I got this big ass couch I bought, and this shit lays all the way back. It's huge. It's a bed. So why take the extra steps when I got everything I need down here? So what happens is I go to bed. You always go to bed with a bottle of water.
Yep.
Put it right next to me in the windowsill, boom. So if you wake up with the cotton mouth or whatever, you take a swig, whatever. Boom. So when you finish the water and they get the empty bottle, I keep them in the window because I'm so lazy that if I got to piss in the middle of the night, man, I don't want to walk all the way to my bathroom. I grab the bottle. My aim is crazy. My aim is nice. So I grab the bottle. I turn the side. I put the hose. Boom. Fill it up. Top back on. Back there. I'll dump that shit when I wake up for real, right? So now I'm doing this shit in hotels because it's fucking in me. So I got this big bottle of what's that? Life water or something? You ever see that water? I think
Smart
it's called
water.
I've never had it before, but the bigger bottle, like nice sized bottle. So I get 2 of those joints. I'm coming up, you know how it is, Mike. It's 2, 3 in the morning. We drinking all night. Grab these waters, man. Go to bed. Boom. So same thing. Like I'm home. I feel the earth. I got peak. I'm not getting up because if I get up, it wake you all the way up. So I grab the bottle. Now what I forgot is I already drank, a bottle, and it was empty. And the first time I woke up, I do what I do, filled it all the way up, and I put the top on it. Now, thank God, my urine at this time, it's a clear day. It's clear.
No chance of cloudy.
So I go back to sleep. You can find a positive in the story.
It's a positive because his urine was clear.
It was clear.
So I wake up. Now, I'm like, harsh, right? So I look over, I see this full bottle of water. You know what? That's why I laid it there, I take the thing off, and I take a big swig of, Now, it's a little aftertaste. I'm like, so I look at the bottle a little peculiar because I've never had this water. This first time I said, well, it must be the life water. Put it back. Not even 15 minutes. My shit died again. I'll take another. These are big swigs, bro. I look at it again. The second time, that's a little. I stare at the bottle, man. I stare at the bottle, I swear to God. And I look, the only thing that brought clarity is I look where the TV was, and the other bottle is over there. So wait a minute. Dude, I get up. It's so many things wrong with this shit. I'm like, I try to tell myself shit to make it good. How many movies we seen where the person gets stranded in the desert or something, and they tell you drink your own pee is not. I start telling myself all this shit, right? None of this shit is working. I'm like,
you justified it.
A little sugar pee ain't hurt nobody every once in a while.
Oh God,
Mike, like I know, any man do some shit that's embarrassing, right? The first thing you going through is, I can't tell nobody this shit.
I can't tell nobody. I just drunk my piss.
But I can't shake it. I can't all day. The next day, so I go to the 2 people that I roll with the most, that's closest to me. I'm like, you know what? We tell each other everything. Fuck it. And I said, yo, man, let me tell you some shit. I said, let me say pause before I tell you what I do. I said, pause first of all. And they're like, what? When I tell a story, yo, they faces is like, is this motherfucker telling us he's drinking piss? Like,
his own piss.
so
Oh my
once it's out there, the comedian kicks in like, it's your piss. That's, it's funny. Like, and they ain't like another nigga coming in and put pressure on me. Like, drink my fucking piss, nigga. So let's just say I know me now.
Oh
Very
God!
well.
All right, so
Very well.
the fact, you have no idea when he told us this story. He said it so casually, and I didn't know where he was going with the story because Salad is a storyteller. Like you, so you just go like when he starts telling a story, you're like, okay, all right,
Bro. It's like pee, like urine. Urine has it in for me. I'm convinced because it's like the urine gods are after me. I was in Dominican Republic one time, and they had this beautiful suite they put us in, and they had like the beautiful white pillars in the middle of your suite. Dope shit. Got the liquor on the wall, unlimited liquor. And one day, same thing, middle of the night, I peed. This right before the pandemic. I get up, and I think I'm trying to go to the bathroom, but I stop at the pillar, like I'm outside my yard, and I'm feeling so bad. So I go back to sleep. I swear to God, you couldn't tell me that shit wasn't a dream, right? So when I wake up, I said, wow. I said, I was crazy. I peed. So now I get to go pee the morning pee. I get up, I slip and bust my ass on the pee. And all I can think of while I'm laying on the floor, soaking wet in my drawers, all I can think of is like, that really happened. I really peed. I'm in it.
You need to see a specialist. Yeah, right?
Yeah. You need to see a specialist. Now all of a sudden having a cracked tooth don't sound so bad.
Probably got this thing with pee.
Before I do that, I'm gonna crack my own tooth before I do that. But is there because I know we ain't got to it for so long, but is there a joke that you look back on? Because I've done this, like I've watched the video and I'm like, is there a joke you look back on that even though people laugh, you're like, what made me even do that joke? Because there's some jokes that I ended with that will rip that I go right now. Why did y'all laugh? Like why did y'all even laugh? Like I had a bit where I would end with this abortion joke, which is probably one of the darkest jokes I've ever done in my life. Like
right.
and it would kill at the end of the set. I'd be like, why did y'all laugh? The whole joke was based on women always say, if you want to see a man lie, have him lie about cheating.
Right.
But the bit was, no, you want to see a man lie, watch him try and convince you to have an abortion. And when we trying to convince you to have an abortion, that's when the lies get real thick. That's because my whole thing was like, I got asthma, you got asthma,
right?
Got health insurance. This baby gonna die regardless. Like,
but see, here's the thing: it's no matter how dark a joke is, if it's real, I stand by it. That's why I go back to what I said before about being a natural. All my stuff is based out of reality. Like I don't have the stuff where I made up because to make it funny. Everything's based out of reality. So I stand by everything I've said, up at this point. Even when I look back at old stuff, like for example, there's a set I did for Comedy Central, Jamie Foxx, Laugh-A-Palooza. That's one of my most proudest fucking televised sets I've ever done. I mean, perfect A to Z. They took it down. I usually could go up on YouTube and find it. They took it down because, of course, we're in a different time now. So the fact that I do the Arabic bullshit voice, imitating that, and I'm talking about Bush and Saddam Hussein, and the joke goes into the funny part is like after 9/11. I said the only good thing that came from 9/11 is the police wasn't looking for the regular niggas no more. They was looking for a certain nigga. The racial profiling shifted to another nigga. That's the exact words. Racial profiling shifted to another nigga. And then I act out driving in your car And the police are like, keep it moving, nigga, right? And he's like, I see the gun in your lap, keep it moving. And they go, whoa, Akbar, where the fuck are you going? You know what I mean? So they took this shit down, right? And I know they probably took it down. But I understand two things. I understand funny, and I don't care if it's dark or light or whatever. Funny's funny to me. And I also understand times change, and we get in these climates and culture climates and stuff where that's not accepted, or this is frowned upon, or I'm going to cancel you. A real comedian don't give a fuck about cancellations. As far as a real comedian is concerned, he started canceled. The shit that's in here, I'm already canceled. I just got to get it out so I don't go crazy. You know what I mean? So that's a real comedian's brain. And to your point of the abortion joke, that's not really dark. That's based in reality, making fun of reality of a dark situation, not a dark joke. You know what a dark joke is? Abortion joke, like Corey Holcomb. He goes, I'm going to go hang out at abortion clinics and sell baby clothes. That's some funny stuff. As dark as that shit is, that's hilarious. He said, I'm going to go to an abortion clinic and sell baby clothes. Are you it's so disrespectful in 9 ways from Sunday, but we got to give it credit that it's funny. It's stupid funny, but it's funny. And that's the thing about comedy. We're the last, believe it or not, we're the last line of defense for freedom of speech. They don't trust the politicians. You don't trust your preachers, pastors, and ministers no more. The comedian has inadvertently taken on all this pressure of freedom of speech that we didn't ask for. We just wanted to be funny. Now, this is why a Chappelle is where he is right now. You understand what I'm saying? He's always been funny, but look at what he talks about in subject matter these days is going with the climates because he has to. It's the elephant in the room. You're not going to listen to it coming from the politician no more like you used to. You're half-ass priests and pastors. They're doing all this stuff with the kids in the church and you can't trust it. Where do you go now to get your information and your opinionation? The comedian. He's the last frontier. The news reporter is just reporting. They're not coming up with nothing. They're just reporting stuff that's happening. You know, the comedian is the one that's giving you opinions to think about and angles to look at stuff.
Right. When you saw, and I never got to, I think we did talk about it, but I never got to get your opinion. When you see these people rushing the stage and like Will Smith started the whole thing. Well, he didn't start it because it happened before that.
I was with Chris Rock last night, by the way.
You was with Chris Rock last night?
Yeah, we were Nick game, baby. Nick game. We was in there.
When have you ever got close to somebody coming to the? But now it's kind of unfair because you're 6'6", so you got to really.
It don't matter. Actually, that don't matter. Actually, that's more of a negative thing than a positive thing because it's like a woman, a badass chick, right? We go after badass chicks because obviously she's bad, but she's also because she's bad. That's a challenge,
right? You're
like, damn, was she even like me? She's so bad, like, you know, she got a fat ass. I got slumped shoulders. Damn. So being 6'6", you got the hood dudes or the men who want to challenge that. Knock him out, whatever. So that don't help in that essence. But here's what people don't realize. And they probably shouldn't because they're not comedians. This has been already going on. We're just in a televised environment now. Yep. Everything's pictured or recorded and played back. And almost real for the time because of social media and there's a camera everywhere. You have to, somebody said something over 10 years ago that is truer now than it was then. You have to, when you go out your house, your own humble abode, because that's really all you got, or almost you can bet your money on you're not being recorded. When you step outside your door, you have to assume you're always being recorded or watched. You just have to. There's a camera everywhere. And if not, somebody's going to pull one out. As soon as they hear the noise, people do this. They do this before they help. You in the restaurant, you start choking, Mike. Nigga do this before the Heimlich.
Of course, man.
Look, I got him dying right on my phone. So, you know what I mean? So this has always been going on in our world. The challenges from the audience, whether someone walks up there, throws something, or meet you outside, whatever. It's always been there in this business because this is a rough thing right here. We're the smartest species, but yet the dumbest at the same time. Like a human being will go to a comedy show and know they don't have a sense of humor. Why are you here? I don't go to a hockey game ever. You know why?
Because I'm not in a
I don't like hockey. You're not gonna see what are you here for? The Bears half price. So I'm gonna sit here and watch some shit I don't like for 2 hours because the Bears $2 cheaper. So you have those people though. You have those people. I cursed out Vinny Brand owns the Stress Factory, and I was just headlining this past week. I cursed this Negro out. Man, the Negro is white, but I cursed him out because I got packed houses. I'm flipping the room from a 7 o'clock show to a 9 o'clock show. So I have a production the way I do things. I'm paying a DJ so to make it fast, get people in the mood. They come in here. So when we hit the stage, they feel good. This Negro wants to film TikTok videos on my time. Like my room is half full. It's quiet. I'm looking around like, I said, I don't like the way this feels. I can hear everybody's conversation. It's hustling. But I looked at the DJ. I said, what are you doing? He said, oh, they told me to wait. Vinny's over there recording something. So I'm thinking there's recording some big shit, right? So I look over this motherfucker TikTok. I said, man, I told my man who's promoting with me, I said, man, tell that motherfucker cut that shit. We got our music going, man. We running out of time. Place too many people in here. The dude looked me right in my face. And he's so still mad at me today. But he said, Talent, you want me to tell the owner of the club to get the hell out the way? I said, absolutely yes. And they looked at me like, this nigga's great. I said, you want me to do it? Because if I do it, it's going to be all bad. You're more diplomatic than me. That's why I'm delegating this to you, because you're going to say it and no harm, no foul. If I say it, I already know it's going to escalate. Comic to comic, because Vinny's a comic as well. He owns the clubs, but he's a comic. So if I go over to it, I'm going to come off abrasive as a comic to comic. He's like, no, okay, I got it. So he's bragging to me that after the fact, yeah, I went and told him, this motherfucker, you went after I made you go tell him. you didn't see nothing wrong with it. This shit look like a zoo in here. It look like no structure. Dude, you know, in the urban side of things, Black people naturally, for the most part, have a swag and a style with whatever they do. Def Jam didn't become the #1 show in the world by being Comedy Central friendly. Yeah. It came with that fucking hip hop swag. And the world was like, this is what's up. And they loved it. And they were looking for it everywhere. You think the Black comics are playing these white clubs because they like us? No. They're playing, we make them a lot of money. We make them a ton of money. Vinny made 10, 12,000 off me this weekend. Easy. They make a lot of money. We bring that money in because people want to see that swag. And they packed in to see that swag. So you're going to cut my swag to do your TikTok video? You want me to tell the owner of the... Yes, motherfucker. If I could tell this woman her coochie stink, you could tell. You know how much pressure I'm under? I had a girl with her, I was in love with her. And we were going out for years. But this one particular time, I don't know. I don't have a vagina. I don't know what's going on. I don't know pH balance. I don't know if she drink a bad Pepsi. I don't know.
Not a bad Pepsi.
Why it did it, but I'm going to take to the bed. Like, I need to tell her. Like, and I kept telling myself, if you really love her, you'll tell her.
You let her know.
All right. Mo, if you have a question, because I got 2 more questions. If you have a question, do you have one, Mo? Do you have a question for Talent?
Oh, I just asked did he hit anyway, but inquiring minds want to know.
Of course he did.
He had to complete the mission. He had to complete it.
But you know what? In this day and age of like the whole social media, TikTok comedians, or they label themselves as comedians. What do you think it's doing for like the real stand-up comedians? Because a lot of them, I've seen some come from like the TikTok sensations, and then they'll do like a set at a comedy show, and they bomb. Like they're terrible. The timing is not there. It doesn't resonate how it does on like the social media funny.
But that's thank God we got stages. Thank God we got stages. Stages it clarifies everything. Like you get the guy off of TikTok or Instagram, got 1 million followers, he'll sell out the improv, right? And when he stink up the joint, when that real, because that's that instant gratification. It's different than editing a video and all. When you get on that stage, you get that real feeling like, I didn't do that good. They go right back on their social media and change the link in their bio from comedian to influencer. Because you had a rude awakening. Like, Mike, no, that stage is nothing to be toyed with. And I don't care what anybody calls themselves. Like, when you actually out there doing it, it's going to decide who you are and what you are for real, for real. So I don't really care about it. I think it's great. If you can monopolize and monetize anything, I don't hate on nobody. Paper flow, get it, do what you got to do. But again, if you're serious about it, you'll work on it and get to a point where maybe you can call yourself a comedian, or you're going to bail, because that's a crushing thing. That instant gratification thing is a motherfucker. You know, like, sometimes comedy is a thing that a lot of people think they want, but when they get up there, they instantly, now you're back to being a mechanic. You got to realize we got that profession. To be honest with you, as a human being, there's things all humans want to do. Overall, I think almost 90% of people want to try comedy. If they have a sense of humor, they're like, "What? I always want to do that." You know, if you talk to anybody, whether they did it for a week or 2 weeks, I always want to do that. It's like women. You hear women all the time say, "Woo, oh, you bastard. Oh, give me a dick for a week. I'll show you what to do with it." You know, they always say shit like that. If I had a dick for a week, you know what you never hear? You never hear a man go, "Oh, man, if I had a vagina for 30 days." If I had a vagina for a week, I would never carry a wallet.
But Tylen's foul though, Mo. He talk all that, but I've seen Tylen where a comedian bombed on stage, horrible. And Tylen came up. Wait, no, I'm talking about Caroline's. And the Tylen came on stage right after and said something funny. The crowd went crazy, and he looked at the other comedian and said, "See, I told you they want to laugh." Like, it was.
Shout out to Dave Anderson. Shout out to Dave. You know, the funniest thing in the world was, I learned this as go back to what Mike's saying about being a good host. A good host, you know, for me, I do it as a comic anyway, but a good host has to pay attention to everything. You're the only hybrid in the room, meaning you have comedian, audience. The host is a hybrid of both. So he's a comedian already, but he has to become one with the audience so that he can connect with them like nobody else in the show can. It's like, I'm one of you guys, but I got the mic, but I'm one of you guys. So if we watch somebody bomb, that's exactly what it is. We, us audience, wow, you see that? That was crazy. What was he talking about? And they start to ride with you because you're their voice at that point. They're like, yeah, we sat through that shit. That's crazy, right? And y'all become one. You're the hybrid in the room. You're the only one that can do that. Comics, they're going with their agenda, whatever. If they was to do the same thing, they're kind of taking a chance, jumping out the window. It may work, it may backfire. But the host is a representation of both. I represent the comics by introducing them, and I'm part of the audience by sitting back, taking it all in. The worst thing a comic can do is, that's why I hate these headliners that, what time am I going on? Or the show's at 8 o'clock, you're gonna hit about 9:15. Or pick me up at the hotel at 9 o'clock. I'm never that dude, because I want to see everything from the rooter to the tutor. So when I go up there, my Uzi's armed. I got every bullet I need to slay this room. If I come in and miss the first hour of the show, I don't know what happened. A lot of shit could have happened. Good shit, bad shit, whatever, stuff to talk about, whatever. But I'm not privy to that information. Nobody goes to a job unprepared. You want to show up to work prepared. Did you run the format for me? Did you print them out? Did you send the email? You want to be prepared. Your boss look at you and you're unprepared. You lose that job. I'm the headliner this weekend, and not one time did I step in the green room. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting at the door in my regular section when I do my Sunday nights there, because I'm still the same talent that you see on Sunday. Only difference is you're going to watch me 45 minutes to an hour stretch out instead of hosting. And I'm still got my same technique. Sit here, and I'm going to give you the information. You're going to get it. 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 You're going watch everything. I'm watching them seat people. I'm listening to the music. I'm vibing. I'm becoming one. I'm doing what I do. So when I get up there, I'm over prepared. I'm good money.
So I want to ask you, Chris Rock and Kevin Hart had a conversation, and they were and you got brought up in the conversation, and they said talent can get on stage and never do. He might not do any material. He might literally just go, and they would do it. They said it as a compliment.
Right.
So is there a point? Because I always feel like sometimes when I'm sober, when I'm on stage, that when I start freestyling, I get mad at myself because I never jumped into the material that I wanted to do. Because it just started working. Like things started working. Do you just when you go and like I forget the material. I'm gonna keep going what I'm doing, or do you get mad at yourself if you don't do the material?
You do. But I here's the thing. I got that happened so much early on in the career that I just ripped the book up and threw it away. And like the ride is gonna go where it's gonna go. When it's those nights where you don't get to the material and you just organically killing off of whatever top of the head or current events or whatever the case may be, that's actually a bonus. I've learned to appreciate and embrace it because it's a bonus. Look at it like this, Mike. Look at it like at the average comedy club never brings us more than maybe twice a year to play it, right, as a headline.
I get what you're about to say, yeah.
If I do a show and I went off the top of the dome, killed for 45 minutes, and then I fulfilled my job, I get paid, but I get to be brought back sooner because I still got a ton of jokes I didn't do.
Yep.
A lot of these guys, they got their monologue, and once they do that monologue, that's why the club says, well, we'll bring you back in 7-8 months because we got to give the people time because you just did this monologue. I can't bring you back in 2 months. They're going to hear the same thing and be mad. So 7-8 months is enough time. We'll bring you back and do it again. 7-8 months, enough time. We'll do it again. But this is what we do. When this is all you do for a living, I want to be brought back as quickly as possible, as many times as possible, because that is the difference in me making $100,000 a year and $500,000 a year.
Yes,
but we skated over the fact that the Kevin Hart and Chris Rock, when they were talking on that interview, which was everywhere, it was major.
I skated. I ain't skated.
No. I'm just saying, like, no, I'm saying that's a big deal. Like when that happens, when you got two mega stars like that talking about you and how great you are and how they not look up to you, but they really respect you. Do you get more phone calls to say, yo, we need to book this guy, or I want time? Like what happened after that interview aired?
Well, I mean, your inbox light up, your phone lights up, you're getting hit from all directions. Like one of the greatest things that I find, it was cute to me. I appreciate it. I was slated for 2023 to get the Red Fox Award next year. I got the call months ago, like, listen, we do this thing every year. This year, this year's the big celebration, the 100th anniversary, but we got you, we're going to give you an award. We want you to attend this year, but we're going to give you an award 2023. This video drops, goes viral. They call me back to do, go, you know what, man, my committee met last night, and we're gonna move your award up this year. So I'm like, okay, cool. So yeah, this December 8th, we're in Atlanta, 100th anniversary. You, George Wallace, and I think like 2 other people are getting awards, whatever. And I'm like, I just laughed when I hung up. It was cute to me, like, oh, so you seen this little viral mention, and that sped your wheels up. Nigga, you could have did that in the first place. Now, see, comedians, we're antagonistically by nature, right? So when I seen that video, first of all, I just like my history and recollection of 30 years of Chris Rock is in another stratosphere. Like he's just a dope motherfucker, right? So, but if I want to nitpick this video,
here we go.
And I mentally did for a second, right? As great of a moment as it is, the pettiness in me wanted to punch fucking Kevin Hart in the mouth, right? Because the bulk of the accolades came from Chris Rock. Don't get me wrong, we cool as fuck, and I love Chris Rock. But nigga, me to you is way deeper than me to Chris Rock. So the guy who I'm deeper to in my mind should have had more. He was more like, word. Yeah, you don't need. But this motherfucker was going in like, yo, that motherfucker, man, he good. And I'm sitting there like, really, Kev? Like, nigga, I borderline raised your monkey. Like, you know, it's so you can nitpick and do that, but I took the high road and just say, you know what, that was a great conversation and a great way to bring, because they're not talking about you, they're talking about something in comedy, and to make his point analytically, bring you in to make his point. And I just thought it was super dope. But Chris is so dope. Let me tell you how dope Chris is. I used to host the Boston Comedy Club for about 15 years straight down in the Village in Manhattan. And this was a club. Shout out to Barry Katz. He was the owner of the comedy club. Barry Katz is a super mogul producer in Hollywood. Last Comic Standing was one of his babies. He had everybody from Dane Cook to Chappelle to everything in between. Tony Woods, everything. And at some point he reached out, became my manager. And the Boston Comedy Club, they wouldn't open their doors on Sunday. Back in the 90s, for whatever reason, people were scared to promote and do things on Sundays. So I had said to him, because it was a mainstream club, and I mean, all the names used to go through there during the week. I said, he said, is there anything I could do, to help you? I said, yeah, you know what? I would like to do a night at the Boston Comedy Club. He said, well, we don't really get nobody a night on the weekends. What do you want, Monday, Tuesday? I said, no. I said, you know what? Give me Sunday. Because at that time, Mike knew we would work Friday, Saturday. We would usually come back home on Sundays. So I'm like, that's perfect. We're not doing nothing on Sunday. He's like, Sunday, you sure? I'm like, yeah. So we take the Sundays. Now, again, nobody's promoting shit on Sundays. We go, now we're just doing it. We're not even thinking money, to be honest with you. We're thinking a main stage that makes us look prestigious. So if I need a guy to check somebody out, he'll come in there. He's not going to the Peppermint. He's not going to the Queens, the Manhattan proper, but he'll come in there because it's a mainstream club. We start off $3, charge you $3. This place holds 150 people, tight. We start packing this bitch out every Sunday. Just me and Will just texting friends and get little paper flyers. And of course, my Kanye hat on real quick. Barry Katz being Jewish. Yeah. Why don't you charge a little more? That's not, because we're splitting the door with the club. So we don't really want to hit him over the head. Just go up a little bit. So we went from $3 to $5. Still packing them in every week. Every show sold out. It's been a while. You might want to raise a right? Now you go to $7. Then you go to, eventually you're at $15 over the years, right? So he's happy. He's making money hand over fist. We're adding shows. We're doing 2 on Sunday. Chris Rock comes one night, and this was the norm. Bill Burr, Chris Rock, Dower Hammond, David, anybody, Chappelle, everybody, Wayne, everybody comes through on a random. So Chris is in this joint. Now the place is packed. Chris is in a hall like this, right? A hat like this. And I don't know who he is. I don't see him. And Will comes to me. My partner, Will, goes, hey, man, Chris want to do a guest spot. He want to know, can he go up? I said, Chris who? I said, Chris Rock. I said, where the fuck is Chris Rock? Where? They're right over there. I look, and I said, oh, shit. So I walk over and say, Chris, what's good? He said, what's up, man? He said, I've been watching you funny all my life. I said, no problem. Yeah, absolutely. He said, I'm working on a special, so I'm going to be up there. I'm not going to lie to you and say, give me 5 minutes. He said, I'm going to be up there 25, 30 minutes. No problem. Chris Rock, what am I going to do? This is going to make the room look good. I love when he did that because it made the room look great. So I'm like, when do you want to go up? He said, you could throw one more and then bring me. I said, no problem. I bring him up. This dude does about 30 minutes. He got his little paper. He's working it out. But if you're in the audience and you paid $5 and you're watching Chris Rock do 30 minutes, you're ecstatic, right? So he comes out. This is how cool he is. He goes, yo, who's your agent? I said, William Morris. He said, okay. And that was it. Have a good night, talent. Gone. I thought that was the weirdest shit in the world. Why would you ask me? Whatever. My next Def Jam airs. And I don't know if you remember, Chris Rock had the Chris Rock Show on HBO. Mm-hmm. So Def Jam came on at 11. Chris Rock Show came right behind at 11:30. So this particular night, and I don't know how strategically it did the shit, but this is one of my proudest televised moments. It's like my Def Jam was a dope ass set. It aired, right? Boom, I'm like, yeah. And then right when Def Jam went off, that HBO Chris Rock Show comes on, but it comes right on into a skit like SNL do sometimes. Like it goes right from Def Jam credits into a skit with him and Stuart Scott, the late great, God bless the dead. Stuart Scott, they doing like they're on ESPN doing sports highlights, but it's highlights of Def Comedy Jam.
Oh,
so you can pull this up on YouTube. Just put in, the Chris Rock, Stuart Scott skit, dopest skit probably he ever did on the show. But they're sitting there and he's like, okay, if you missed the game tonight, Def Comedy Jam, got off to a slow. So they're going through the episode, and you're saying your jokes. They're stopping it. They're doing the Pat Summerall shit. They're circling this shit like the NFL. This guy talent, he did this, and they circling shit, and like you're doing a humping motion. They're circling your genitalia. You look at the genitalia, but it's playing your set a second time, and it's on the TikTok show and this dope ass skit. And I was like, then it registered. Who's your agent type thing, the whole thing, because he was gonna do something with it, whatever, to highlight you. And I thought that was the most stupendous thing. And every time we're in the same room, like last night, we'll go to a Knick game and we'll be up in the suite and where all the people are and everything. And we're always chopping up comedy shit. Like he's a real comedian. When you go back to the humble beginnings of a Chris Rock, he was actually the first hit or miss comic that I knew. Like you either loved him or hate him. There was no in between with early Chris Rock. And now everybody pretty much loves him. Like he got there. He's fantastic.
So I just want to give this quick story with talent. At the Boston, first of all, it was really tight walking in this comedy club. And there was a security dude, and he was like, the security dude was like, you gotta move, right? And there was somebody next to me. And I was like the shoulder, and we were shoulder to shoulder going up the tight steps, right? And I look dead, and it's Prince. Prince is in the comedy club. And dog, like I literally looked this dude in his eye. I should have said pause, but we ain't say pause back then. And I was like, I looked at him like this, like
he said, I love you. I love
sounded
you.
like a girl. I was like, Prince. And he just went, mm-hmm. That's all he did. He said, so, and this is my last story. So you would do other comedy shows, but you knew Sunday was the place that you needed to get on stage. But when you knew, you just gotta linger. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta hang out and be like, yo, can I get on? And I go to Will, go to Talent, like, no, I'm gonna get you on, get you on. And this is when Chris Tucker was on fire. This is when Chris Tucker was blazing shit, right? So Talon's like, yeah, I'm gonna put you on. And Chris Tucker happens to do a set and like lights this whole place on fire. Like just it's rumbling in this bitch. Because if you make Boston laugh, it would literally rumble in that motherfucker, right? He got done. Talon looked at me and said, you still want to get on?
Not after that.
And he was like, dude, just come back next week. I said, okay.
Because you know what? Because that means I respect you. Like if I didn't respect you, I would have threw you on to teach a lesson. Like sometimes you do stuff to teach. I told somebody last Tuesday, shout out to Salsa Confuego in the Bronx and Rob's room. This room is a huge, I don't know if you seen Salsa, right? Inside, how big it is.
I haven't been there yet. I haven't gone.
When you see Salsa, you're gonna be like, how the fuck? It's a big room. And back in the day, it's been going on 8 years now. When they first started, it was too big. They didn't do it right for comedy, right? So if you wasn't exceptionally whatever, the back part of the second half of the room, there's a bar back there. And people would just stand around it and it'd be crunk and packed back there. And the first half is tables and chairs the way it's supposed to be. Big stage.
Talent, real quick. I gotta pause real quick.
Okay.
So there's breaking news, which you just said. I'm pausing you because you just said this. That Kanye West just lost the Adidas deal. I told you. Lost the Adidas deal.
People, you gotta understand this, man. Let me tell you something. I know how business work, bro. But it ain't over. You're gonna see breaking news all week. Watch. You're gonna be seeing breaking news all week because when you deal on a billionaire level with those billionaires, their power, money, and influence is at a place you cannot even begin. I'm gonna tell you where the worst thing that ever happened to Kanye when it comes to this, and then I'll get back to the story, is the worst thing that could have happened to him is for Trump to let him in the White House and made him feel whatever.
Yeah.
That was, even Kardashian. The worst thing that could have happened, because Trump's such a loose cannon, he knew what he was doing. And when he let them in there, now an already cynical mind just multiplied to the hundredth power. So watch how this unfolds the next 2 weeks. But anyway, Salsa, the old Salsa, was fucking horrendous. So I would say out of every 10 comedians Rob have in there, 1 or 2 may do good. You know what I mean? So now what happened since the pandemic was a blessing inadvertently for the club, because what they had to sit people a certain distance and everybody had to sit down. So now the second half of the club is tables and chairs too. So the whole club is sitting down, which is great for comedy. So I'm in there Tuesday and I'm hosting this night, and I got a banging lineup. I got Freddie Ricks, A.G. White, Sean Harvey, Timmy Hall, Smokey Suarez. That's my lineup, right? And Timmy says to me almost halfway through the show, I said, I'm going to switch it up. Sean, you next. I need the energy, blah, blah, blah. And Timmy's standing there, and Timmy goes, yo, man, just don't throw me last, man. I got to get back around. Now, I heard it the first time, but I do this dumb shit sometimes. I said, I'm sorry? He said, no, just don't throw me last, blah, 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 blah. I said, I can't hear you. Say again? I wanted 3. I got the third time. The third time he said it, I said, bro, don't ever say that to me. I said, I don't even tell people when they're going up, first of all. Secondly, if you come off to me scary and scared, I'm not going to be able to use you the way I'm using you. I'm looking at you like a heavy hitter. You know what I mean? So in these rooms, when I'm booking you, I'm looking ahead of you. The minute you tell me I can't go last or don't put me last, I can't use you. If you come in with a criteria and specifics like that, dude, you're a comedian booked to do a comedy show. When you get here, just be ready. You know you're going up. One time I watched Chris Thomas bomb in there, and that's the first thing he said when he walked to the back of the room. Everybody's like, ooh, man, that was rough. He come to me and go, man, I didn't know I was going up. I said, you didn't know you was going. I didn't know you was on the show. He said, nah, not that. I didn't know I was like going to be first or next. Dude, as soon as you walk in here and you know you on tonight, you got to know the subject. Give it up for Chris. You're on the show. That's not a surprise. He acting like we came to his house. And said,
we need you to do like 10 minutes.
You're in where you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you don't, sometimes I put people in position to either test them or teach them a lesson. Sometimes you got to teach a comic a lesson. Some of these guys don't respect or know why things happen. A guy who always goes in a 1 and 2 spot, Mike, that's what we call, that's the juicy pussy. Excuse my French. That's the juicy pussy. Like, if you're any type of good comedian, you should have a great time in spot 1, 2. As it gets later in the night, it's more trying. You know, you got to come harder. You got to be a
fourth quarter.
Yeah, fourth quarter. It's tough. You know what I mean? They done sat through a lot. They've been drinking for 2 hours. It's so much into play for that last guy or the guy going on later to deal with. But if you get the 1 or 2 spot, you got the juicy spot. So you'll get these guys that's always in a 1 or 2 and think they are better than what they are. And I've had that at the Boston. This guy, it was a New Jack, and he was like, how long will be a New Jack? You know, I want a paid spot. How long will be a New Jack? I said, bro, trust me. I ripped every time I'm in. I'm like, this nigga don't understand. You're in the juicy spot. Okay. You know what? Come back Sunday. I put him like in 4th. Eat it. Wow. And now you want to be in my ear all night. I don't know what happened tonight.
It's a different crowd.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Listen, anybody who wants to be a comedian, God bless you. But understand, man, this thing can eat you up.
Yeah.
It can eat you up real quick. Talent, we about to wrap up. Rodney Perry is about to come up next. Shout out to my man Rodney Perry. Obviously, we do the sports podcast on the Humor Mill, and we argue for an hour. And so shout out to Rodney Perry. Anything you want to promote? Anything you want
Yes. I just want to say, on my way out in my heart of hearts, fuck Rodney Perry. we was messing with him yesterday about Chicago. Chicago playing Monday night. But yo, dude, I'm leaving the Knicks game. I'm not even watching football, dude. I'm all about Knicks. I get on the train coming back uptown. Phone ring is Rodney Perry. I totally forgot. So we bet $10. Rodney Perry calls up. I said, "What up, Rodney?" He said, "Hey man, I'm out with some friends eating at the restaurant right now. I'm a little short. Can you cash at me that $10?"
I need that.
When I saw that, I was hollering, dog.
That was the best. He got my ass last night so crazy. I said, "Yo." I couldn't stop laughing. 30 minutes on my train, I said, "This dude," but he didn't say, "Hey, I beat you, I bet you." I know where he was going with it. He was
I'm
like,
a
"Yo,
little short right now.
I'm a little short."
Is there any
I
way?
love you, Rodney Perry. Hey, everybody, support your boy. Follow your boy on Instagram. Talent the Comedian. It's Just Comedy on Twitter, and New York King Talent Harris on Facebook. I love you guys, man. Thanks for having me this morning.
Thank you, Talent. Good looking.
Appreciate you.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
I'm out of. We out of here. I gotta take the kids to school.
Daddy duties. All right, and the surgery tomorrow. Shawnee got surgery tomorrow. So you here tomorrow? Or you gotta be there with her for a surgery in the beginning. I guess.
I don't think we're gonna be here tomorrow. Now I think about it, because I know she just. I don't know why they got to do surgery so early in the morning. I don't know why. I don't know why they can't do surgery in the afternoon. Like I don't understand why.
They always want to start early in the morning.
Crack of dawn, like your body is in a different situation at 5:30 in the morning. I think it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. But anyway, we'll figure it out. Yeah, because it'll be Jay Black and Mo then. But I might be able to
Sequisa maybe Mo do a bunch of entertainment news. There's a whole bunch of stories we didn't get to. So
there's a whole bunch of stories. Well, shout out to my man Talent. He's hilarious. Kanye West did lose the Adidas deal. I just looked it up.
Which is crazy that they gave up their money. I know they didn't want to. That's probably why they were stalling.
But you can't just get on there and say, I can say
it's worth
anything.
Millions, multi-millions. Like what he says and what we sell. That's hard to walk away from that. That has been hard for Adidas. So now, if I'm Nike or if I'm K-Swiss, I'm somebody else. Somebody else say, "Yo, I can do them Yeezys."
They're what is the for things like that, for Adidas and companies like that?
Yeah, not millions, billions. Yeah.
Their public opinion, their public perception is so affected that the pressure right now. Like I that's why I didn't understand why Kanye would just come out his face and just literally say, "I can say anti-Semitic." That's like of a white dude who was making millions or billions for a company said, "I can say the N-word and say it. I can say the N-word right now, and they can't drop me." Because the protests already started. People already wanted to protest against Adidas and boycott them. That's the proper term. They wanted to boycott Adidas. So they probably just didn't want that stress. They didn't want that relation.
I guess it's tough when you got $2 billion in the bank. I don't know. I guess you could feel like you could say what you want, because I know I probably could.
Oh, I would. Yeah, I wouldn't even. Y'all wouldn't even see me if I had a few $1 billion. Y'all wouldn't. The only people that would see me is my close friends. Y'all wouldn't even. I wouldn't even be on social media. I'm like, for what?
For who? For what?
But, yeah, for who? For what?
So somebody else is going to pick up Kanye. All he has to do is say, "I'm sorry," and go to some type of rehab. And Puma will be up next with the new Yeezys.
All you gotta do is say, "I was off my meds and I'm back on my
and everything
meds."
Is back to normal. That's it. Literally, that's all I say.
I hope, but that's a crazy situation that we were just talking about.
Literally,
that is a crazy. Listen, man. Love me for who I am, not who you want me to be, because I can never be that. And understand there's only one thing in life is guaranteed, that if you offend a certain culture, you will lose your sneaker deal.
Mm-hmm.
You fight for everything. Fight for your happiness. Never let anybody take it from you. And that's it. We hopefully, if we do the show, I can do the show from my phone while I'm there, because I'm not going to be doing nothing but sitting there. Honestly.
Holding a purse.
Yeah, holding a purse.
Holding the bag. Her 90.
Yeah, and I don't know, and maybe going to the grocery store and picking up
dropping the kids off of school,
milk,
picking them back up, dropping off food.
Let me make sure these girls is ready. All right.
All right.
This is crazy. This is hilarious.
At least your hair's still moisturized. But
Yeah, exactly.
we out, bye.
Michael, Shawn, and the Takeover Legend, where the truth hurts, but also